Good morning, everybody. It is not as cold today, but it is still cold. But it's supposed to get really warm today. I'm going to be able to run water and everything, which I am super excited about. And not having to haul fresh water to animals. Um, so, homesteading issues. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. And I had a great moment to talk to my friend this morning. We don't talk every morning, but just about. And that's been a wonderful addition into my day. I feel like it just sets the tone to have somebody that just listens and encourages and accepts you for you. And if you don't have that, then how can you do that for yourself? I have another friend who has talked about being okay with you and going to yourself first. And generally, the rest of my day, I really try to do that. I try to tell myself like I would want to tell a friend, because I'm my first friend. I hope that makes sense. And so I should be willing to encourage myself, talk to myself, and tell myself all those wonderful things first. And you're going to be like, well, hey, how can I already know. But you do and you don't. When you're talking to yourself like you're your own friend, it's a different dialogue than maybe what you're used to, especially if you've had a hard time with your body image, or I don't even think that, just your own self-image. If you felt not good enough, not worthy enough, those sorts of feelings, try going to yourself first. Maybe it's writing it in a journal just to kind of get it out, or maybe it's just literally talking to yourself, where how would you say it to a friend? Talk about it, and then what comes in that you would tell a friend that you're listening to? How would you encourage them? Would you say, oh my gosh, that's a terrible idea or whatever? Or would you encourage them as it is? I think that gives yourself two lessons: how to speak about yourself and also how to receive. And those are important lessons that we need to learn before or when other people are coming into our lives as well. So if you are still talking to yourself like, oh, why would you do that? I hate this about myself. How can you change that dialogue, that internal dialogue with you, to make yourself feel worthy, because you are? So that's my challenge, is to continue to do that every day when things come up. And sometimes they're small things like, oh, the kids did that. I'm a terrible mother. And instead, talk about it like I would to a friend, and then give advice or just listen and receive like I would want a friend to do. And that's hard, because we want to jump to giving to advice to each other, but a lot of times we don't just listen and accept for what it is. I started a thing a while ago, and I don't remember where I saw it. I believe I saw it probably on Facebook, or who knows, something like that, where it was, before I reply to somebody, do you want input, or do you just want me to listen? Because I think there's times we just want somebody to listen and hear us and not say anything. And as a parent, I try really hard to do that. And it's hard because as a parent, I want to help and give advice to my kids. But I also recognize that they're their own people and I can't always do that. And they don't need me to either. And there's other times, though, that we're talking to people and I do want advice. How would you do this? How would you not? And I think as you're talking to yourself, you'll start to figure out naturally or intuitively when you should or shouldn't do that without asking. But I think with any friendship or a family member, it's always a good thing to make sure before you're giving advice that you say that. Do you really want advice right now, or do you just want to be heard? It's a big difference. Imagine if everybody did that. Wow, that'd be might be another the world will be a better place kind of thing, because a lot of times people give out unsolicited advice that isn't really needed or wanted or anything. A lot of times people just want to be heard. They want you to know where they're at in their life, and that's it. So I guess today's lesson summed up quickly would be, can you talk to yourself like you would a friend? And do you want to be listened or heard? Or do you want advice? And it's okay if somebody starts to give you advice to say, I just need to be heard right now. How you talk to yourself matters. How you talk to others matters. So how can you change you today? Do you want to? And if you don't, that's okay too. We don't need to change every day. We don't need to have exponential growth every day. But if you are wanting to do something, to change in some way, maybe this is a step for you to evaluate how you're talking to yourself, how you're listening and talking to others. I hope you have a great day and a good start to your week.